Okay, Mark, let's talk about how to get into and look at the test. First things first, we're here on the start page, and if we go down here, you'll see there's a due date. We can get rid of that real quick. Edit the test options, because this is the introductory test, and then come down here, get rid of that, and then put refer to course calendar for due date. And then hit submit. And that should be gone. Okay. All right. So the tests are pools. Okay. And you get to those through the course tools. Come down here to test, surveys, and pools. Go into pools. And then there's chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we can look at them down here. We can edit the pool, display just what you're looking there, basically the short version or the full text. We can edit, let's see, details. So that shows us the whole question. We can do that one at a time. Shows us correct answer, the page that it comes from out of the text, correct feedback, incorrect feedback. You can add more questions if you want, create questions and multiple choice. In here it tells us that there's 20 questions, they're worth half a point apiece. We can change that when we get into the actual test. The other way to look at it is to go into the weekly modules, go to the test or the practice test, and we'll go to the practice test and edit the test. Edit the test options is going to be what the student sees and how the student is allowed to interact with the test. In this practice test, if this is chapters 1 and 2, remember there were 20 questions in chapter 1 and there's probably 20 questions in chapter 2. Oh, here it is, right here. There's 40 questions and we're going to give them 12. I think we should give them more than that. I think out of 40 questions, we should give them 30 in the practice, because this is a formative assessment. This is a learning tool. 12 is not enough. I think we should give them 30. If you want to only give them 20, half, that's okay, but I think we should let them look at these questions because it's going to help them to learn the material. So we give them 30 questions. The practice test is not timed, and I'll show you how to get to that. But you could, if you wanted to see all the questions in the form of taking a test, you just go in here and put 40, hit submit. Okay, and then we go back in, edit the test options. Okay, they're going to be allowed to take it 2 times. You need to make sure on the practice test, it should have the same due date as the regular test. And looking at the calendar, this test number 1 is due on 10:30, so we should make this test due on 10:30. I can help you do all this. Okay, and then sees all the answers correct, submitted. Give it all at once and randomize the questions. If you want to look at it so that you can prove it, you don't want to randomize the questions, we'll randomize the questions later. Remember, for review purposes, for us looking at it, we're going to include all the questions to let the students take it. We're only going to give them 75% of the questions. And then we hit submit. And then we'll go up and look at it like a student. Remember the student view up here? So we're entering the student view. And we're going to have to go back into the module. So now we're back into edit mode. We can go in and make this, I'm going to edit it. And we'll just unclick this for now so that it's available to us. Then we'll go back into the student view. Week 1, graded activities, practice test. And we'll just go into it and begin. Oh, you know what? We have to go in through the Respondus view. So let's do this. To the Respondus lockdown browser, we got to get out of student view. Go back into course tools and go in the Respondus lockdown browser. In the practice test, modify the settings. And we don't require it. Save and close. Not required. So then we go back into the student view. Week 1, graded activities. Begin the test. Okay, and there should be 40 questions there. And then we can actually take the test. It may be faster just to look at the individual questions in the course tools. We can actually try to take the test here. Tragic fire occurred because occupants had to try to escape through a revolving door at the main entrance. I think that was the Coconut Grove. What's the National Institute of Occupational Safety charged with regard to fire investigations? I think it's firefighter deaths. Which of the following contribute to many deaths? Triangle Sheriff Fire. I think they were locked stairway doors. Fire inspector expected to enforce the code identified in fire prevention codes. I hope that's right. Why do fire codes exist? To manage fire safety community, establish specific performance objectives, to assist architects and engineering performance, to provide code interpretation. Let's go with that one. Anyway, then we can submit it and see how we did. It tells us we didn't answer all of them. So, hit OK to see how we did. There we go. Got the first. Look at that, I got all 5 of those right. Okay, so you can try it a couple different ways. Let's exit the preview, continue. So let me go back into Respondus first. Respondus lockdown browser. In the introductory practice test, I'm going to make it required, modified settings. I'm going to require it, save and close. Okay, the introductory test, we want to make it required. Okay, so they're all required. For some reason, there's 2 introductory tests. I don't know why. Got to figure that out. Strange. Okay, so now we got to go back in and edit the test and put in 30 questions. Submit. Okay. And then go back in and edit the test options. So, no timer. I'm going to give them 2 shots at the practice test. Don't worry about this password. That's a Respondus thing. We don't mess with that. The due date is 10/30. We are not going to include this test in the grade scores. Okay. We're going to randomize the questions. Give it all at once. We're going to show them the right answers after they're done. Okay, submit. All right, let's look at the regular test. Edit the test. On the regular test, we're going to want to give them all 40 questions, which is what this is doing. Okay, so that's okay. And go in and edit the test options. Okay, so we really don't need to do these on the individual components within the weekly modules, but it's up to you. And it's due on 10/29. It's actually due on 10/30, Sunday night at 11:59, according to the calendar. Okay, and we do want to include the real test in the grade center. We want to let them look at all their feedback after it's over. We're going to do it all at once, and we're going to randomize the questions. So we hit submit. That was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I think that'll give us a start, and we'll talk more about this later.